Hello viewers, Kubiondo Kith and Kin, I'm SB and welcome back to Strange Horticulture, where the vibes are immaculate, exquisite, 100% of the time. I don't think we have any immediately pressing business. We have the will to explore, but I don't know anywhere to explore at this moment, at least I don't think so. So I guess let's just take some customers. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. Sorry, kitty. I'm headed to Grisdale Forest, investigating a possible murder there. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. The Sisterhood are a secretive lot, and they're not keen to talk to me. Grisdale Forest, interesting. Their leader, the Arda, or whatever they call her, she's dead. My instinct is they're hiding something. I was hoping that you might have some fox button that would help me win them over. Well, gosh, I sure hope so. I sure hope I tagged it if I do, because to be perfectly honest with you, I don't. It's been a minute or two since that last episode, and I don't remember our plants all that well. Okay, doesn't look like it. Fox button. Fox button. Ah, the one with the opposing leaves, right. So we had a couple of different plants that we thought might be fox button. Thick, shiny leaves grow in opposing pairs across the stem. So these leaves are marked as stiff, which if they're thick, they very well might be. We have this. No notes about its appearance at all. It's just its scent. We have this thing. Small leaves, delicate flowers. That's probably not it then. It's probably not that one. Okay, well that being the case, I feel like... And if we're trying to use the drawing here as a guide... Those are pretty close in shape. Those are definitely similar. Again, we were warned explicitly not to do that, but also it doesn't seem to have done us any harm so far. See, these ones have the rounded edges, which I do like. I'm gonna offer him some of this, and we'll see. If it's not this one, I'll feel more comfortable tagging the other one at least. Okay, yeah, the roundness of the leaves was important. So we earned ourselves an entry for Brimlock. Those suffering from hypothermia can be rescued by a draft made from using the leaves from the Brimlock plant. It has a warming effect that protects against extreme cold. When conditions are just right in the cold of winter, Brimlock produces small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. Interesting. Let's go ahead and mark this as our fox button. I like the fact that it throws stuff at you, like the book only describing the leaves and the examining the plant only describing the smell, and you having to figure it out from there. Okay. So that one we just picked up. Wait, what was the name of that plant? Brimlock. Do we have a plant that looks like Brimlock? I mean, we think this is Mary's breath. Leaves from a Brimlock plant. Small yellow flowers in the cold of winter. So we wouldn't necessarily expect it to be flowering right now. We certainly wouldn't expect it to have different flowers on it now. Yeah. I'd like to just look at something really quick here. Grisdale Forest. Okay, quite a lot of people, or quite a lot of space in Grisdale Forest. Tough to know exactly where he might have been going. Out of curiosity, let's just visit Rusland. A church looms before me. Its cold stone walls and stained glass windows seem both inviting and off-putting in equal measure. An eerie silence seems to surround this place, but there is little else of interest. Alright. I was able to make out the whispered voices last night with the help of the St. John's Poppy. Oh, good. And there's a medium using the room, illegally, I might add, holding midnight seances for gullible grievers. Is there a plant you know of that I could use to give them a scare and drive them away? I need my sleep. Well, apparently, I feel like, from that description, Harlequin Blue is going to get the job done. Yes, as they burn, they let out high-pitched shrieks. That would probably do it. Apologies, I'm recording at the end of kind of a long day here. I don't mean to be yawning into the microphone. But the combination of it having been a long day and, again, the vibes here being so... I think they're supposed to be foreboding, but my busted-up gremlin brain is only capable of perceiving comfort in these sounds and places. Okay, so we're just going to have to guess. We're going to have to show her something, and we'll see if it is in fact Harlequin Blue. Alright. When the bushy blue flower heads die, they release seeds with a downy pappus which assists in wind dispersal. Once dried and hardened, the stems can be burned as incense. So, bushy blue flower heads. I mean, we have some bushy blue flower heads here. Light, airy scent. Hard to say. This is lemon dandy, and we're sure it's lemon dandy. So that's another set of blue bushy flowers. I don't know that I have anything else. Pull up the clavilium. No, the clavilium doesn't bloom like that at all. I have to say, I don't know that I don't think we have a plant that looks much like this, but it's hard to tell. I mean, that could be what's going on inside these buds. Apparently it is. So that there is our Harlequin Blue, and we got an entry about Shimmerlong. The dried stem of the Shimmerlong burns very brightly and noisily, letting off a near-blinding white-purple light. Flowers grow wrapped in large, ridged leaves. Okay, that seems like it shouldn't be all that difficult to identify, frankly, if we see some of it. Here we have a Harlequin Blue. Who puts a hash across the bottom mark of a Q? That's a handwriting quirk I have never encountered in the real world. Yeah, that Shimmerlong, it doesn't seem like it would be very hard to identify. Flowers grow wrapped in large, ridged leaves. These are veined, which is not the same thing. So we're looking for something that has... The thing is, flowers grow wrapped in large ridged leaves doesn't mean that the leaves remain like a tube necessarily once the flowers have hit bloom. So this plant might not even look like this anymore. Smells faintly of wood smoke. I mean, it doesn't really look like that. We do have the sort of like weird wrapping, but we also have leaves that are visible around here. So whatever that is wrapping, that could be the flower body itself. Don't know what to make of it. You may have heard the rumors that our Arda is dead. May Anduina bring her spirit peace. The nature of her death is unusual. The sisterhood does not often look to outside help, but this is beyond our knowledge. If you show my sisters this letter, they will allow you entry to the forest. Oh, very interesting. To be assured of your discretion, we require that you use Mary's breath to bind yourself to secrecy. Mary's breath. Wide, waxy leaves. Did I have something marked? This is what I thought it was. We're gonna trust past Samhain's mental acuity here. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Not, in fact, Mary's breath. What I will do with this right now is that. That'll mark it as really definitely not the thing. Okay. Wide, waxy leaves allow this plant to collect a large amount of water. It requires... A person can be bound to secrecy. Used to be grown in the royal gardens. The leaves of this plant were described as waxy, weren't they? And they certainly are wide. And they have that same like vein structure, but I think a lot of leaves do. I'm gonna try this. Okay, now we know what happens if you get it wrong. So this is for sure Mary's breath. Which means we can probably just remove this plant's tag entirely. Actually, can we? If I do that, yeah, okay, it just takes the tag off. We have failed in our duty as protectors of the forest. Our secrets have been stolen and the Arda has been murdered. You will find us deep in Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. Please help us. A mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. All right. So, I'm assuming it means here. I mean, like, this is not a mile from the lakeshore. I guess, yeah, like any location, if you translate it exactly, a mile from the lakeshore is like here, right? So it is within this square. A sister tries to stop me from entering, but I show her the letter and she lets me through. I am ushered into a walled courtyard and then through a large oak door, along a corridor and down a set of stone stairs into a cool basement. To be clear, the basement's warm, it's just also really fucking rad. Lying on a table draped in silk is the Arda. There is not a mark on her, but her open eyes are black. Her mouth, her veins, her hair, all black as raven's wing. Do you know what could do this? Asks my escort. I set to work. And what I set to work doing is trying to pull up some Ren. Why do I think I need Ren? The long leaves of the Ren are known to turn black in the presence of certain poisons, and so can be used to detect them. Though it has no flower, it is said to be to smell unpleasant to those who have known death. So we thought this is probably it. Yeah, I'm sort of making a guess there based on the scent description. I'm assuming that our character knows which poisons Ren turns black in the presence of, such that this information will actually be useful. I extract a sample of the Arda's blood and introduce it to the Ren, and my suspicions are confirmed immediately. The leaves of the Ren turn black, which can only mean one thing: gilded dendra poisoning. Upon presenting my findings, I am rushed away quickly. The sisters do not want me hanging around, it seems. They do, however, send me on my way with a couple of plants, which I am grateful for. I feel like I am perhaps, maybe not owed information, but I would at least like some information about what all is going on. Gray sandfire has a tough outer bark which has many useful properties. Some chew it as a form of dental hygiene, taking care not to swallow it, as it can cause unpleasant stomach distress. The flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent, adding to the impression of a roaring fire. Okay, so gray sandfire, this is gray sandfire then, yeah? Again, anything that's not been fully confirmed we leave in red, but I feel pretty good about that. And this, we want to flip to a yellow tag. Okay, also a couple new plants. Ooh, interesting. A pleasing scent. The leaves have stiff ribs. So yeah, this is an image of the flowers, not the ridged leaves. Interesting. But yeah, this is Shimmerlong, right? It's got to be. Not actually typing in the field. There are ways in which that looks like a lung. And then this is something else. This is something wild. Alright, what else do we not have a good sense of? Winter boar is a hardy plant. Rubbery leaves make an effective insect repellent. Light UB, turquoise flowers with sharp thorns. No description of the leaves, and the thorns are tricky. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Among other uses for this plant, the most remarkable is that it can allow a person to pass unnoticed. Though not invisible, it is possible to become hidden from sight and memory. Do the thorns on this thing look like... I mean, sort of. I wonder if there are clues in the Latin, the genus species. There might also be clues that you would only know if you if you properly know stuff about plants or whatever. I'm going to suggest, very gently, that this might be Mellow Glow. Maybe. Do we have anything else that has those like wicked thorns? I don't. We have this, which I had also marked as Mellow Glow. It's a competitor, at least. I will say, though, the thorns do not look, they do not really look like the thorns depicted here, whereas these ones very much do. That sort of like curved barb appearance. Okay, well, I'm gonna swap this one to like purple. That's a second tier guess. I feel less sure of that. All right, now that we've tried to make some sense of our new plants here. I'm this close to reporting you, halfwit. The last plant you gave me has made my skin itch furiously. I'll have your little shop shut down and torn to the ground if you don't make this right. A rich man who inherited a fortune. There are many in Undermere who would be glad to see the back of him, but with wealth comes power, and few would challenge him to his face. Alright, so he's pretty mad about the cat. He wanted me to bring him Apis demyssus. So what I'm kind of curious about is whether I gave him the wrong plant, or at least potentially the wrong plant, or if this is just how this goes. You know? I think that's some gilded dendra. Butterdale and Meekdew. Are either of those ones that we have marked off? No. Butterdale has those extremely distinctive leaves. Which, if we had a Butterdale, you would think we would have that marked, right? St. John's Poppy has kind of similar leaves. But yeah, we definitely don't have that. No. Okay, Meekdew. If we don't have this, he's going to have to make do. The beautiful flowers made up of many smaller florets make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be pleasant looking, but touching the leaves against the bare skin will result in painful spores. Or painful sores. My man. Fucking, are you sure? So it's going to be one of these, right? It's one of these plants that does this thing. Those blooms really do look like the image here. Doesn't necessarily mean anything by itself. That's just a mushroom. These also kind of look like... Yeah, they've got that same shape, unfortunately. He is not going to get good results from a Meekdu. The Butterdale would be a cure rather than exacerbating things. But I don't think we have any. I mean, none of these plants look at all right. Dark green leaves. Oh, wait. You're Butterdale. Yeah, let's give him the thing that will actually solve his problem. That was one we had yellow tagged already too. Historian. The dark red fruits should not be ingested under any circumstances, as they are highly poisonous, resulting in insanity and then death. A cross-section of the stem shows the distinctive triple xylem and phloem of the Storian. Well, that's really not going to be useful. Dark red fruits. I mean, are those are fruiting bodies. This is probably right. Seems likely, right? Alright, our knowledge is increasing slowly. Take a moment to pet the cat. I don't think we have any other place in particular to go. Yeah, I don't think it, we can just click on stuff at random, pretty much. It doesn't seem to be a useful thing to do for the most part. The book both fascinated and terrified her in equal measure, and after studying it for some time, she reached a decision. She would never use the power she had discovered. She would hide the book, where it could never be found. North of Hawkshead, east of Lowick, west of Rusland, south of Crinkle Crags. One of those names sounds much less like a real place than the others. Keep this visible. Yeah, okay. So, Crinkle Crags. It's going to be west of Rusland, north of Hawkshead. Okay, there's Rusland. So, west of that, where are these crags? Okay, here's Crinkle Crags and Rusland. North of Hawkshead. Where on earth is Hawkshead? Are these, hold on, are these one, is this pointing us to one square or two? Because the separated directions could be two, right? It could be one is north of Hawkshead and east of Lowick, and the other is west of Rusland, south of Crinkle Crags. Where the hell are Hawkshead and Lowick? I am actually having a little bit of trouble. Hawkshead and Lowick. Let me zoom into the map a little bit more here. Oh, okay, and they keep our cards readily accessible while we're in this view. Okay, there's Lowick. So what did the cards say? East of Lowick, north of Hawkshead. Okay, Hawkshead is up here. All right, so if this is describing a single tile, then this is the row we're in. South of Crinkle Crags, north of Hawkshead. In fact, this is the tile. E17 is the only one that fits that description. Oh, right, I forgot. We're totally in the Go Places view already. I can just click. My eyes are drawn to the silhouette of a grizzled old man standing at the edge of a field. His mind is broken, seemingly beyond repair. Vacant eyes fixate on nothing. A whisper of an expression as my gaze sweeps his face, but only a whisper. He raises his arm and points. I follow his outstretched figure and am surprised to find a cluster of wildflowers growing there, hidden from view. That is quite curious. I don't like it when strangers know my business and what I'm up to. That makes me uncomfortable. So these new plants, what do we have here? Bright red flowers at the end of thin stems. Dark blue flowers that smell like sweet rhubarb. I feel like something with dark blue flowers. Okay, that's got light blue flowers. That's a mushroom. Maybe I'm thinking of the one that had light blue flowers, because I remember us reading about blue flowers. Camphor we already have sorted, right? Yeah. We're pretty sure we got the gray sandfire figured out. Not the Lady of Summer. And then this has cool blue-gray flowers, so not this thing at all. Okay, never mind. I was misremembering, I guess. Let's just give the cat a little bit of love and then ring the bell. It's very strange that I ring the bell when I am ready to give people service rather than the other way around, but it's fine. I'm looking for a plant, a lady of... what's it? Something or other. I'm no green-eyed Dreyer, that's for sure. My mind isn't at all what it used to be. It's the one that's supposed to help with mental decline. Lady of Summer. With the, yeah, with the leaves curling around delightfully. So did I have a plant that I thought read as Lady of Summer? Because I don't believe this is one we've seen before. Yeah. I had to be honest with you. Not feeling like any of these really look like a winner. Leaves are quite soft. So the leaves curl around delightfully, which combined with an attractive flower and a hardy nature makes this a sought-after ornamental plant. What I'm wondering is if these things may have opened somewhat. The Gandhi root looks pretty similar. But you know, if they open more than is depicted here. Soft purple with a sweet scent. I mean, the leaves are kind of curling around a little bit. It has the pollen stuff sticking out, which is why I was interested in that one. It's not quite right, but I'm fairly sure you're Gilded Dendra. How sure am I? My fingers ache from handling this plant. Dark blue petals are soft and feathery to the touch. It is the one that looks most similar to the illustration. And again, we've been told not to trust the illustrations exclusively. What about you? Plant that might be Mellow Glow. attractive flower and a hardy nature. Yeah, I don't really think this doesn't look right. The petals are curved instead of pointed, and this seems like it should be sticking out more. I believe that this is a hardy plant, given the toughness of the stem and everything. That's a pretty good visual match for the buds. It's just like, would it have that hands hurt while handling it thing attached to it and not have that marked in the book in some way? It seems like a critical part of what makes that plant interesting, and it definitely suggests that the plant might be a different thing. And I don't think we have anything else that's even close to right. Yeah, not really. So I do think it's probably one of these two. I'm just going to try this one. If we get it wrong, we'll perhaps gain some rising dread. Indeed. That was not Lady of Summer, because this is the Lady of Summer. Also not. Okay. Well, that being the case, we must have it, right? If we didn't have it, he wouldn't ask for it. We have no way of sending him away. So, what am I missing? So it could be a plant that's like more, where the flowers are more open now than they were when this was drawn. If that's the case, I would expect the leaves to be, or the petals of the flower to be pointed. And the leaves are curled forward. Am I just like missing a really obvious one? These are already explicitly marked as something else. Pale yellow flowers. I mean, the leaves have this like, this sort of puckered bit at the end, which does not seem appropriate. Doesn't seem like the thing we're looking at. Maybe? Probably not, though. I really don't know what to make of this. I guess we're going to find out what happens when you fail one. You don't look like the right thing. You don't have the, Is this a stamen? You don't have the bit in the middle that points out of the flower enough. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of this. I don't know that we have this plant, but we must, or he'd leave or something, right? We wouldn't be forced to give it to him. Unless there's some way that I could know where it is already, and the problem is that I haven't solved a puzzle and haven't gone into the right place in the world? Maybe? You know what? I'm going to pause the recording here for a second. I apologize. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. My health situation is certainly a situation. It is now the next morning, and we're back, and this fellow is asking for some Lady of Summer, and I don't know what the fuck Lady of Summer is. It doesn't really seem like we have it. It seems like we do not have it. So, that being the case, what am I to do here? I guess I can't tell him to go away, right? So if he's here asking for this, is it necessarily the case that I have it? Because we only have a couple of plants that kind of look like that. And I really don't think any of them... I guess we have to try this. It does have the two bits sticking out, which is something. The petals are kind of the right shape, although these ones are open more than the example. The core problem with Lady of Summer here is that the description doesn't tell you anything about the plant. Well, actually, it's okay. It says the leaves curl round delightfully. You know what? I think I was interpreting this as petals. Do we have a plant that has leaves that curl in a way that would be described as delightful, where the flower also looks anything like this at all? Like Ganderroot, the flowers kind of look right, but those leaves are definitely not right. This thing, the leaves are kind of curled. I wouldn't even describe these as curled, really. They're just like not rigid enough to maintain. We really don't have a lot of plants with leaves that I would describe as curling. Obviously, these ones are, but we also know that this plant is a lemon dandy for sure. Yeah. We can try this, I guess. The leaves really don't curl. We just like, man, maybe I'm missing it. Maybe it's right in front of me and I'm just missing it. But I sure don't see anything. There's not a plant I'm missing, right? No. I mean, it's definitely not this. It could be something where the blossom is more open. Right, and this could just be a state that we are not currently seeing. But also, I feel like regardless of the blossom thing, we just do not have a plant where the leaves are actually curly. This is, I don't think, correct. But let's try it. Yeah, I didn't think so. And the rising dread has certainly risen. A shiver travels down my spine. My mind is broken. Yo, it's just suggesting plants. Friend? Okay, I put my mind back together, do I? Hold on, these aren't in the order that they're supposed to be. Yeah, those two definitely fit together. Yeah, these scrambled themselves a little bit after they broke. No, I need like this. Yep. Nope, those lines aren't quite right. This is close though. We need like a very thin bit. It's really hard to like look at these and read the positions on the thin ones. Okay. What else? So this line is going to continue into the next one. Yeah, that's pretty good. 2 lines at the far outside. Okay, perfect. I'm not even really using the shapes of the broken pieces, but obviously those are important too. So we have these 2 things meeting on the next piece. Does that make it you? It does indeed. And then, so this has come to an end. It's just 2 lines coming into the next piece. Some distance between them. You're close, but you're not quite next. Hey, you two definitely fit together. But that's definitely wrong. Oh, I see. It does a... It could make a turn here, couldn't it? That's definitely wrong, although actually it goes right here. It's really interesting. It doesn't look like there's a piece missing. Like none of the pieces that we have here look like they go in that spot. I guess we can do this, right? We can finish building off of this side. So that needs... Where is this dotted line? Okay. I feel revived. My mind is whole again, apparently. There is a hint button. Mayhap I need to actually use it. I'm wondering if the problem there is that they're like, if we need to have found that plant by now, and I just haven't. I haven't. There's some important clue I've missed about exploration. There's a place that I should have gone by now. I began my recovery in the woods to the south of the town with a group of travelers. Gosforth. The northeast corner of the wood, I sat and stared at a bright flower. Northeast corner of the woods south of Gosforth. Is this a thing? Have I gone there yet? Where the heck is Gosforth? There are so many little towns here. Okay, northeast corner of the woods south of Gosforth. Aha! The wood has a calming effect on my mind. It does me good to escape into nature, away from the stench and clamor of Undermere. It is not long before I spy a bright flower among the trees. And indeed, it is our plant. So, in a situation like that, the game knows what I'm supposed to have by now. I feel comfortable enough just tagging this one right now. This here is Our Lady of Summer. So if I ring the bell, is that dude gonna show up again? Okay. I got you, buddy. I got you. Page 4, Fennet. Chewing the tough root of this plant is said to ease gastric distress and reduce anxiety. It has long, soft leaves that kind of look like this. Okay, so that's really good to know that I only whiffed that because I didn't have the plant and I could totally have had the plant. I like it when it's my fault, you know? So for the moment, I guess let's just continue on. I don't know what else we might, what else here we might need to mess with. They're saying the Arda has been killed. I know a lot of people don't trust that sisterhood, but it seemed to me the Arda always looked out for the less fortunate. Sure. The cold is too much to bear beyond the gap. I was forced to turn back. I would advise against it, but if you are determined to explore Great Gable, be sure to take precautions. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll have a plant up your sleeve that can keep you warm should the weather turn against you. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Explore Great Gable. Is this a thing I am meant to be doing? I mean, I've certainly got the itch to do so now. Great Gable. Do I have a plant for keeping me warm? Oh no, I totally do, right? The Brimlock. Is Brimlock the one I was thinking? I was thinking of the one that's supposed to be like a fire. Okay, I'm not necessarily prepped on this. I was thinking Gray Sandfire, because it's got like fire in the name, but I don't remember what it does. After several hours of arduous hiking and scrambling, I am still some distance from the summit. I'm freezing cold and ready to head home. I should do the sensible thing and turn back down the mountain. Unless, say, I brought a draft made with leaves from the Brimlock plant with me, because obviously that would protect against extreme cold. Small yellow flowers with waxy, tough leaves. I feel like we did mark something as Brimlock, didn't we? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't see a lot of red tags left. That's Storian. That's Shimmerlung, probably. Likely to be Mellow Glow. Alright. Alright. Small yellow flowers with waxy, tough leaves. That's Gandy root. So we don't have anything that has yellow flowers at all. Well, except we wouldn't expect the flowers to exist now. Are these leaves waxy? I think this is our brimlock. It doesn't have the flowers because it's not the right conditions in the cold of winter. Okay, obviously. Of course it is. I push on, no longer feeling the cold, and am presently rewarded. Also, we learned about the sunset mounttrap from doing that somehow. The sunset Mount Cap, that's a C, technically, is a type of fungus with domed caps, sometimes called stinking Mount Cap, as a result of its unpleasant odor. It is thought to deter unwanted souls and spirits from entering the home. It is often placed in doorways. That might not be a magical effect. It might just be because it smells bad. It is mildly toxic to humans. Should not be eaten. Interesting. And we picked up some kind of flower that I don't know what to do with. Well, let's mark this as the brimlock while we are here. Right, once again, not actually typing in the thing. There we go. Now, quickly, let's go have a look at our mushrooms, because we have quite a few mushrooms. This one looks stinky. Yeah, I think that's probably our, sorry, I should just pull this to here. Wait, what was the first word? It's the Mount Cap. Sunset Mount Cap. I'd already forgotten. Yeah, this has got to be it, right? Shape's approximately correct. See, in my handwriting, the C has a bottom part, which makes it easier to read. That's that's the trick. What am I doing? This is the opposite of what I wanted. What I wanted was this. This plant is cursed. It has brought me nothing but sorrow. Please, take it. I want nothing more to do with it. Oh, cool. A thing that's cursed. Thanks, dude. This is very similar to the other mushroom you put it next to. Well, I guess I'm glad we got it or we identified the Wandering Bew before we got whatever this is. Pretty hard to tell them apart if they weren't already tagged. Hellebore! Always a pleasure, my feline friend. I hope he hasn't been nibbling the plants again. Yeah, me too. A lot of these are toxic. I have a favor to ask. You owe me for the hours I spent digging out the information on those plants. All right. I've been burning the midnight oil again and could use some common trouse, and I know where to find it. According to Grayson's herbology, it grows in abundance on Red Pike. I'll come by the day after tomorrow to collect it. I have business in Sedberg in the meantime. Oh, okay. Red Pike. Common trouse. Despite being described as common, the trouse can, in fact, be quite tricky to find. Ooh, who saw that coming? However, it is known to grow in abundance on the slopes of Red Pike. Leaves have been used for centuries as a balm against eye strain. Yeah, I'm saying that like that's the weirdest plant effect we've seen so far. Like, it's fine when it's actually hard magical, but when it's just like, yeah, it makes eye strain lessened, I'm like, do you rub it in your eye? How could that possibly be? That's ridiculous. Anyway, Red Pike. I'm assuming that this will not be as easy as clicking on Red Pike. Well, apparently it was. I enjoy a pleasant stroll up the fell. The going is easy, the weather agreeable, and the views majestic. I do not have to look hard to find what I am after. And that sure does look like the common trouse, doesn't it? I guess I'm gonna yellow tag it. I mean, it sure looks right. I am deeply suspicious of this plant. I'm going to change its tag to red just to remind me that I'm suspicious of it. I wish I had more colors. I would make it like green. It seems too easy, right? If it's actually common Trouse. I don't know. You can see this being a thing where you've picked like an imposter plant that actually harms her in some way. Maybe I'm paranoid. I don't know. When you work with the occult, I find it pays to uphold a certain image. If you're going to be accused of performing witchcraft anyway, it doesn't hurt to put on a bit of a show every now and then. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, sort of thing. Or let them know that you're capable, let them think that you're capable of what they think you're capable of. Long story short, I may have threatened to turn a small boy into a toad, and the little bugger called my bluff. So now you need from me a plant that will turn him into a toad. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what little boys are like. I can assure you he deserves to be turned into a toad. She's probably right. Anyway, I think a little display is needed to discourage this sort of behavior in future. Have you got any Shimmerlong? Now, Shimmerlong. Yeah, Shimmerlong I'm pretty sure I do have. Candlewood produces a red flower that provides a shielding effect, protecting against all manner of afflictions to the mind. Long, thin stems grow among tall leaves. Tall leaves with red flowers. Could be. Well, for one thing, let's what did I just handed her this. Let's change that tag to yellow. Yeah, I mean, totally could be. Well, let's red tag it. I think it's enough information for me to red tag it at least. Where did she say she was going? Town started with an S, right? Sedge something, maybe? Sedberg, perhaps. Sadgill? No, like Sedberg seems more right. There's probably nothing for us to go here and like try to meet her, but maybe we could bring the plant to her sooner. Sedberg is one of the many towns in this vicinity that has made its wealth from the wool trade. Indeed, as I explore its streets, I see a farmer shepherding his flock to the monthly market. I had hoped to find a plant to add to my collection there, but there is nothing that catches my eye. Okay. I just thought since she dropped the piece of knowledge that it might be useful, you know? Sorry if I'm shouting. I'm a little hard of hearing. I'm looking for a plant that can supposedly help me hear better, but I've forgotten what it's called. I remember it's bright red, though. Okay. What do I have the bright red stuff tagged as? Well, that's not a flower. So, is this an effective St. John's poppy? I don't think so. Oh, never mind. St. John's poppy is absolutely right. And we knew that one. Interesting, we didn't get anything else for it. All we got was verification that that is indeed the plant that we already knew it to be. Alright. Well, I guess let's end the day here. Which means we get another card from our dreams. Oh, but this one is incomplete. Time passed. A year, and then another. The book remained hidden, but out of sight did not mean out of mind. The book was what her thoughts settled on when she rested, what she brooded over when she did her chores, what she pictured when she dreamed. Curious. Very difficult to know what to do with that particular card. The other two cards have just been locations on the map, right? Pardon me. It's the next morning. I'm still tired somehow. I don't sleep super well around this time of the month. So the card is the right dimensions for the map if we rotate it 90 degrees, but it's very difficult to know which corner would be which. If we perhaps interpret the coastline as the missing corner, we'd have to reverse the card as well. But its position would be, I don't know, like Blackcomb or maybe Boodle? Doesn't really hurt anything to go to these places and check. I see a pit full of skulls. Some deer, fox, badger, some human. I wish I had not come. Okay, cool. Found ourselves some rising dread out on the road. That does occur. Yeah, I haven't watered my plants at all in a minute here. It looks like it doesn't actually change the rate at which our will to explore increases. I like that they don't make you actually water the plants. That would be tedious. I do want to wrap up here, but I want to try going to the city I thought it might be. So let's like take a customer or something until the gauge fills up. Hi, it's Reuben Ward. The Fox button was no help, I'm afraid. The sisterhood still refused to speak openly with me. Not that I have the time to pursue it properly. I'm rushed off my feet this week. There's been a body found up the Swinside Stone Circle, and apparently it's a grisly one. Don't suppose you've got anything to help keep my lunch down? Okay, some fennet. Fennet is new to the catalog, not something I have verified. Long, soft leaves. But not actually long. Like that. They come off a stem and they're fairly... could be. They are soft. They are soft and they are long and they kind of look like they're the right shapes. I'm going to try it. I think this totally might be fetid. Yeah, easy. Obviously. We've got a description for witch fig. This fig, presumably. A plant that is said to have many uses, including easing the symptoms of infection, just kind of in general, any infection, soaking up moisture, and detecting the presence of certain compounds. It is also well liked by butterflies. It has similar leaves to fever kiss, which it is often confused with. Well, now, isn't that interesting? But before we forget, let's mark this as the fennet. So fever kiss is one that we have also not identified. So it's hard to use that yet for anything in particular. Kind of makes me want to... The thing he said kind of makes me want to go to Swinside. I may wish I hadn't, though, right? I'm gonna check. We're still gonna also check Boodle. I shudder at the thought of what happened here. If these stones could tell us what they saw. A chill comes over me, and I realize that I do not want to linger. Okay, I kind of thought that might occur. But I wanted to be sure, and I was more sure that I would forget what he said, even than the card. Although I do fear that I will forget both of them, because obviously I am extremely forgetful. Morning. Verona Green handed me this for you. She seemed in a good mood. Yeah, what does she want me to do? I meant to tell you this yesterday, but it slipped my mind. I discovered a plant on a recent trip to Grisdale Forest, just northeast of Rusland. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. I would have brought it back to me if the Sisterhood had given me a moment alone, but they seem overly protective lately. Just northeast of Rusland. Well, I mean, we probably ought to do that too. All of a sudden, I want to be out of here all the time. From the moment I step off the road, I can't shake the feeling I'm being watched. Suddenly, I find my way blocked by 3 women wearing green cloaks and holding short elm bows. Nobody may wander freely through the forest by order of the Arda, says the leader of the trio. I turn to walk back, but then again, I have a few tricks up my sleeve, and I maybe even know which plant is Mellow Glow. Where are you? Yeah, this. That's what I thought. So we got ourselves an entry for Caballia, a rare plant believed to help the dead find peace in the afterlife. Those who can afford it place wreaths made from it at the graves of their loved ones. Caballia flowers almost always contain 6 petals. Finding a 7-petaled flower is considered to bring good fortune, if you believe in such a thing. With the help of the Mellow Glow, I walk right past the sisters without them paying me any heed. Chuckling to myself, I collect the plant that Verona talked about and take my leave. It's a weird one. Yeah, that's a strange one indeed. Let me, before I forget, change the marker on this one to yellow. Oh, and then remember to hit OK. There we go. And I don't know that we have any Caballia. Doesn't say what color it is or how big the plants would be. These mostly have 5 leaves. Oh, this looks like it could be a competitor. Yeah, the way the bits, the whatever those are, grow out from the middle. I think we may have a Caballia here. Let's go ahead and red tag it at least. Move this over. Just trying to give everything room to breathe, you know? All right. Last order of business for the moment. Let's check out Boodle. Although technically a town, Boodle's small population and rural air make it seem more like an inflated village. It has been many years since I used to frequent the local tavern, the Sleeping Giant. I could stay for just the one drink, I suppose, for old time's sake. And nothing of terrible import occurs. Yeah, I didn't think it was terribly likely, since it would require, you interpret the card as having been rotated 90 degrees, but also flipped over, and you're like reading the X through its position on the back. But that's the only way this coastline really maps very well, unless we are taking it as like the card is just the left half of the map. In that case, the coastline kind of maps, and the X would be what, Gosforth, I guess? Even with the top, let me zoom in here a little bit. No, not that. Maybe Calder Abbey. Maybe. Oh, right. We still have this. I haven't looked at this in quite some time. Where's that card? Just out of curiosity. Rubbing this thing over that thing doesn't... Nope. Yeah, I don't know. For the moment, I suppose, nothing to be done with it. Well, as we continue meeting people and doing favors for them, we are earning some amount of information. Let's go ahead and check the Abbey out. We'll have Will to explore again in just a moment, and then we'll do that and finish the episode there. I am not expecting anything to occur. Oh, hello. A small window opens with within the much larger oak door. From the darkness within, a voice proclaims, "Only a friend may enter." Right, so there's that plant that makes people, that is like often seen as a pledge of friendship, right? Shit, I can't remember Which one, though? It was the one that guy was just complaining about not having worked. Yeah, Mellow Glow makes people forget you. Gosh, what was he complaining about? Okay, we don't actually have any idea what Wandering View is for. So we'll just go over all the ones we have locked in. Warming effect. Skin rashes. Peace in the afterlife. Afflictions of the mind. Opens locks. The Trouse, which we just learned about. Great strength for short periods. Puts you to sleep. Contract of friendship. The Fox button. How about this? I'm a friend. Hell yeah. Sheep Snap. The sheep snap is thought to bring good fortune when prepared correctly. The green seed pods of the sheep snap have a hard outer shell and sound hollow when tapped. To the south, they call this plant bulbs of Bayonne. I don't know if we have anything that has, like, obvious green seed pods, do we? This might be a description we just need to hold on to in case we ever encounter one. Okay, also, the hatch snaps shut and the oak door swings inward, slowly, without a sound. I am ushered in by a man wearing a plain brown robe. He nods silently when I ask about Long Meg, and leads me through the abbey to a small library filled with scrolls and books. Without a word, he pauses for a moment, surveying, before selecting a scroll and handing it to me. Regarding Long Meg, there is a stone circle north of Undermere. According to local legend, some hundreds, perhaps even thousands of years ago, a witch known as Long Meg lived nearby along with her daughters. They were wild, godless people who practiced evil magic, until one night they went too far, and Meg and her daughters were turned to stone. The tall stone that stands apart from the main circle is called Long Meg by the locals. Interesting. A stone circle north of Undermere. I don't know what we would do with this information unless I had a plant that was capable of depetrifying someone. So there's no obvious circle on our map. I mean, there's this. It's not due north. Yeah, Long Meg along with her daughters. I guess let's go check it out. The circle of ancient rhyolite boulders has been a site of ritual importance for hundreds of years. A lone pillar of red sandstone stands off to the side. And those swirls are not symbols that are represented on this thing. Well, that's very interesting, and I have no idea what to make of it. This is probably a good place to end the episode, though, because it does have to end at some point. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like we are beginning to brush against something very large that is happening here, and I am very, very interested to see where continuing to push might take us. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, hopefully we'll find ourselves some way to crowbar ourselves somewhat deeper into this mystery. And we'll see you then.